So top 10 excuses for uncommitted musicians. I'm not good enough. This is my favorite because this is the underling of if you don't think you're good enough, you don't want to commit. I'm not interested in who thinks they're good enough. I'm interested in those people who are committed to improvement. It doesn't matter how good you are. What matters to me is how good you are committed to becoming. And that is a lifelong pursuit of continual improvement. I don't have enough experience. All right. I'm too young or old. This is a good one. So I've been training two people. One person is older than me. I'm 53 years old, and I trained another person who's older than me, and I'm training someone who is like half my age right now. And they've both earned 4 or 5 figures in the last couple of years as musicians. So too young, too old. It's a good favorite. I don't know enough songs. Well, we'll talk about the answers to these in a second. I'm always tempted to debunk them. I can't play by ear. That's another good one. I don't sing very well. I don't have any equipment. Other people are already doing this. It's already been done, so don't even bother. I don't have time. I can't afford it. The last two are indicative of what I call a scarcity mindset. When you say you don't have time, in reality what that usually means is you're not committed to making time. When I was a kid, I practiced the piano for hours on end and annoyed my family by waking them up at 8 o'clock every morning with scales and chords and arpeggios. And they knew it was important to me, but I made time to do it. As a matter of fact, my dad, he had a grandfather clock in the corner of the room where the piano was. And I remember practicing the piano with that grandfather clock being my faithful companion. And today I have that grandfather clock in my house right now as an homage to my dad. I can't afford it. I just want to go on the record on the recording and to all you folks here and to anybody watching virtually, I wouldn't be here if I said that. I wouldn't have ran my own award-winning recording studio if I couldn't have afforded it. I wouldn't have become an award-winning entertainer if I would have said I can't afford it. I wouldn't have got my first business loan to buy my Pro Tools rig in 1996 if I'd have said I can't afford it. I'm not saying I'm all that. I'm just saying I was committed to making it happen. Don't have time, make time. Can't afford it, figure it out. Here's the responses that I came up with. And if you're not committed to this, that's totally cool. No shame, no foul, no guilt. It's what you want to commit to. So number one, everyone can improve. I've been hard pressed to find anybody who couldn't improve at something. Does that mean you're going to be Liberace or Michael Bublé tomorrow? No, it doesn't. But everybody can improve. Your audience doesn't know or care how much experience you have, which is, I don't have enough experience. Your audience doesn't care. It could be your first gig ever, and if they had a great time, no one cares about how many shows you've done. No one cares about how much you practiced. That doesn't matter. This is what I alluded to before. There's always people older and younger than you earning money. Number 4, there are thousands of chord charts that you can read and memorize. I have an iPad in front of me right now. I'm just going to switch to this camera angle here just because I want to show how fancy we are. So hopefully you can still read that, but there are thousands of chord charts you can read and memorize. When I'm doing my gigs, I may get songs that I don't know, but I'm familiar with. So I know the music to hundreds, maybe thousands of songs, but I don't have all the words memorized. And so sometimes I will need to dial up lyrics on my iPad so that I can play along. I know the chords, I know the music inside out and backwards, but I haven't committed to memorizing the lyrics. Not saying I can't, I just haven't done it yet. So for myself, there's always room for improvement with how many songs did I memorize this week? Let's keep going. There are ear training apps that can help you. I would actually argue there's apps and YouTube videos for just about everything that you can improve at. If you don't want to improve on something, you're either lazy or uncommitted. There's always ways to improve on something, and if you're not interested, you're just not looking hard enough. Bob Dylan wasn't a great singer either, and look at how his career turned out. Sometimes I wonder if he just sang that way to annoy people. So continuing on with the excuses, did you know Long McQuaid can rent you equipment? Long McQuaid has tons of equipment. They can rent you pianos, guitars, amplifiers, mixers, looping pedals, whatever it is you need. Quick little plug for the L&M folks. It is Roland and Boss month here at Long McQuaid, and during the demo here, I actually have a Boss looping pedal, and we will play with this in just a bit. So if you need a looping pedal, or if you want to learn how to use a looping pedal, come and talk to me afterwards, and we'll have a great time. But this is a Boss RC30. They don't make these anymore, but there's newer versions here. So check out the cool selection of loopers that we have here at Long McQuaid. There's plenty of work for everyone. You are a unique performer and have special value. Just because you sing country music doesn't mean that you can't succeed, because there's already 1,000 other country artists in the world. You could be a great R&B artist even though there's thousands of other R&B artists. Saying someone else has done something and succeeded at it doesn't preclude you from doing the same thing. You have a unique intrinsic value as a performer and an entertainer, and what you do is completely different than what everyone else does. Take solace in that and take it to heart and milk it. What makes you unique is what will make your show so much more impressive in the long run. When you commit to make time, magical things can happen. When I got that business loan in 1996, I borrowed $27,000 from the Alberta Opportunity Company. And they said, we'll loan you money for your equipment in your studio, but we need to see a business plan, we need to see an application fee, and we need to see so business plan, application form, and a fee. Those three things I needed to come up. I didn't know what a business plan was. I'm like, okay, well, I want to buy this Pro Tools rig. I want to buy these microphones. I want to buy this equipment. I'm going to need money to do this, but I'm committed to improving in my craft as a studio musician. And when I took the time to do those three things, I got a check from the Alberta Opportunity Company to buy $27,000 worth of equipment. I was 26 years old at the time. I could have said, I can't afford it, forget it. I don't have time for that, forget it. Because they loaned me that money, that taught me that, hey, there's resources out there I can rely on to move forward. I made time to make that business plan, and I was rewarded for it. I really appreciate this point. There's always resources available to invest in yourself. You can get a loan, you can talk to a family member, you can sell something maybe that means a lot to you. You have to make sacrifices. You have to decide what's important to you, and if you are committed, you will make it happen. People who like to make excuses, I just don't think they're committed. And again, no shame, no foul. You're not committed to it. Totally cool. So that's my top 10 responses for uncommitted musicians. So I hope you guys appreciated that.